Flight attendants judge you the second you step on a plane, not your outfit, not your attitude, your shoes. Yeah, your shoes. And what they see can tell them one thing instantly, whether you're going to walk off that plane safely or get hurt before you land. We've seen passengers bleed, fall, miss flights, and even slow down emergency evacuations, all because of what they wore on their feet. Most people have no idea they're making this mistake. Here's what most travelers don't realize. At 35,000 feet, your body changes. Your feet start to swell, your balance shifts. Even walking down a simple aisle becomes harder than it looks. Now add the wrong shoes, and small problems turn into serious risks. Flight attendants see this every single day. People tripping, people limping, people struggling just to stand up during turbulence. And it's not just about comfort, it's about safety. Because in a real emergency, you don't get time to think. You have seconds to move. And if your shoes fail you, things go bad fast. That's why there are certain shoes flight crews instantly notice. The moment you step on board, they already know who might struggle if something goes wrong. Today, you're going to see the 5 types of shoes that make flight attendants nervous every single time. Number 5 seems harmless. Most people wear it without thinking, but it quietly ruins trips before they even begin. Number 5, brand new shoes. This one looks harmless, it feels harmless, but it quietly ruins more trips than people expect. You're traveling somewhere special, fresh outfit, clean shoes, everything perfect. And so you buy a new pair just for the trip and wear them straight to the airport. A 68-year-old woman once boarded a long flight excited for her dream vacation. New walking shoes, perfect fit at the store. But 3 hours into the flight, everything changed. Her feet started swelling. The shoes got tighter, then painful. She took them off for relief. But when it was time to land, she couldn't get them back on. Her feet had swollen so much, the shoes no longer fit. Her first 2 days of vacation spent limping instead of exploring. Here's what's happening. At cruising altitude, your body holds more fluid in your lower legs and feet. That means swelling, sometimes up to a full shoe size. Brand new shoes are stiff. They haven't shaped to your feet yet. No flexibility, no give. So when your feet expand, the shoe pushes back. That pressure causes blisters, cuts, and pain that can last for days. Tight shoes can also slow circulation, making swelling even worse. It's a cycle, and once it starts, it's hard to fix mid-flight. Here's what you do. Only fly in shoes you've already broken in, at least a few long walks before your trip. Make sure they have a little extra room, not tight, never tight. Rule of thumb, if you haven't walked miles in them, don't fly in them. Pack the new shoes, wear them later. Simple, because what feels perfect on the ground can become painful in the air. And if you think that's uncomfortable, the next one is worse. These are the shoes people wear thinking they're being relaxed and smart. But in reality, they're setting themselves up for a dangerous situation without even knowing it. Number 4, flip-flops and open-toe sandals. Now, this is where things start getting risky. You're heading somewhere warm, beach, sunshine, vacation mode. You want to feel relaxed before you even land. So you wear flip-flops to the airport thinking it's the perfect choice. But this is one of the worst decisions you can make on a plane. Flight attendants notice it instantly because they've seen what happens when things go wrong. A 72-year-old woman once wore her favorite sandals on a flight to visit family. Everything was fine until it wasn't. There was smoke reported in the cabin, serious enough for a quick evacuation. Passengers had to move fast. As she got to the emergency slide, both of her flip-flops slipped right off. She hit the ground barefoot and had to run across hot pavement. By the time it was over, she had burns on her feet and couldn't walk properly for weeks. Trip ruined. The flip-flops don't stay on, not during turbulence, not when you're rushing, and definitely not in an emergency. They come off at the worst possible moment. Even normal movement becomes a risk. Flight attendants see passengers lose their footing just walking to the bathroom. One wrong step and the shoe slides off. Now imagine that happening during turbulence. You're not just uncomfortable, you're falling. The airplane floor isn't clean, spilled drinks, food, and sometimes worse. Walking around in open shoes exposes your feet to everything on that surface. Here's what you do. Always wear closed-toe shoes when flying, something that covers your feet and stays on. Sneakers are better. If you really want sandals, pack them. Change when you land. Pro tip: if your shoes can fall off without using your hands, they're not safe for flying. Oh, that's the test. And if that surprised you, the next one catches even experienced travelers off guard. These shoes look practical, they feel easy, but they fail you exactly when you need them most. Number 3, shoes without back straps, mules, loose slip-ons, backless clogs. These look smart, easy to wear, easy to remove at security. A lot of travelers think they've found the perfect airport shoe, but this is where people get it wrong. Flight attendants notice these immediately because they've seen how fast things can go bad with them. A 70-year-old woman once boarded wearing soft, comfortable mules. She picked them for convenience, no laces, no stress. Everything felt fine until landing. The plane hit rough conditions. As she stood up, one shoe slipped off, then the other. She stepped on the loose shoe, lost balance, and twisted her ankle hard. By the time the plane stopped, she couldn't walk properly. Instead of heading to a family celebration, she was taken out for medical help. Trip changed in seconds. Here's the problem: these shoes don't stay attached to your feet. The moment you move fast, they shift, they slide, they fall off. Even without an emergency, that's dangerous. Flight attendants see people trip in the aisle all the time. Shoe slips, foot lands wrong, fall. Now imagine that same situation during turbulence, or worse, during an evacuation. You don't have time to fix your shoes. If they come off, you're barefoot instantly. And now you're trying to move fast on a surface that could be hot, sharp, or unstable. That's how small mistakes turn into serious injuries. Here's what you do. Choose shoes that lock onto your feet, full heel support, and strong grip. Something that stays in place when you walk fast. Test it. Walk quickly. If it slips even a little, don't fly in it. Simple rule: if your shoe isn't secure, neither are you. And if you think slipping out of your shoes is bad, the next one is even more dangerous. Because this time, it's not about losing your shoes. It's about what happens when they don't come off at all. Number 2, heavy boots and tight lace-ups. This one catches people off guard because it feels like the safe choice. Strong, supportive, protected, especially if you're traveling somewhere cold or planning outdoor activities. So you lace them up tight and head to the airport thinking you're prepared. But in the air, that decision can backfire fast. A 67-year-old man once boarded a long flight wearing tight hiking boots for a cruise trip. And everything was fine at takeoff, but hours later, things changed. His feet started swelling, the boots got tighter, then painfully tight. By the time the plane landed, he couldn't loosen the laces. His feet were swollen, discolored, and numb. He needed medical attention before he could even leave the airport. First day of his trip? Gone. Here's what's happening. When you sit for long periods, especially at altitude, your blood flow slows down. Fluid builds up in your legs and feet. Tight boots make it worse. They press against your ankles and restrict circulation. Pressure builds, swelling increases. And in serious cases, this raises the risk of blood clots. That's not just uncomfortable, that's dangerous. Once your feet swell inside tight boots, getting them off becomes a problem. But getting them back on, even worse, you're stuck. And if something unexpected happens, you're not moving fast in heavy boots. You're slowed down, restricted, off balance. Here's what you do. Choose lightweight, breathable shoes. Something flexible, something that allows movement. If you need to wear boots, keep them loose, never tight. Better option? Pack them and change when you land. Pro tip: wear compression socks. They help circulation, reduce swelling, and keep your legs feeling normal even on long flights. Small change, big difference. Because when your circulation is restricted, your whole body feels it. And if you think that's dangerous, the number 1 shoe is worse. This is the one that doesn't just affect you, it can affect everyone on that plane. And in the wrong moment, it can slow down an entire evacuation. Number 1, high heels and stilettos. And this is the one flight attendants worry about the most, not just for you, but for everyone around you. You want to look good. Maybe you're heading to an event, a wedding, a business meeting, so you wear heels on the plane to save space in your bag. But this is where things turn dangerous. Fast. A 66-year-old woman once wore heels on a flight for her daughter's wedding. Everything was fine while seated, but mid-flight, she got up to use the restroom. The plane hit turbulence. In heels, that's all it takes. She lost balance, fell hard into the aisle, and severely sprained her ankle. By the time the plane landed, she couldn't walk. Instead of dancing at the wedding, she spent the event in a wheelchair. One moment, one step. That's all it took. Now think about an emergency. If there's ever an evacuation, the flight attendants will give you a direct command. Take off your heels immediately, because those heels can puncture the emergency slide, and if that slide gets damaged, it puts everyone behind you at risk. In a moment where every second matters, you're forced to stop, bend down, remove your shoes, and then move. You're slowing down the line. You're creating a bottleneck. In an evacuation, seconds matter. You have about 90 seconds to get everyone off the plane. Heels don't just slow you down, they make walking unstable. The aisle is narrow, add turbulence, and it becomes a hazard. Here's what you do. Don't fly in heels, pack them, wear them when you land. Choose closed-toe shoes with a low heel, 1 inch max, something you can move in quickly. Rule of thumb, if you can't run in them, don't fly in them. And because when things go wrong in the air, they go wrong fast, and the last thing you want is your own shoes working against you. But here's the part most people never hear about. What flight attendants actually wear when they travel themselves. And it's not what you think. What do flight attendants actually wear when they fly as passengers? Sneakers, supportive walking shoes. That's it. No heels, no flip-flops, no tight boots. Just shoes that work. Shoes with cushioning for long periods of sitting. Shoes with support for standing and walking. And most importantly, shoes that stay on your feet if you need to move fast, because we've seen the consequences firsthand. Here's the truth most travelers never hear. The goal isn't fashion, the goal is function. At 35,000 feet, comfort becomes safety. And that's why experienced travelers follow a simple rule. If the shoe can't handle pressure, movement, and sudden action, it doesn't belong on a flight. Now, here's where things get even more important. Because shoes are just one part of the equation. There are other items people bring on board that can get flagged, confiscated, or even cause delays at security. And in 2026, some of those rules have changed. Most travelers don't realize it yet. And in the next video, you're going to see exactly which 10 items are being flagged right now under the new TSA rules, and why so many passengers are getting caught completely off guard. Some of them might surprise you. Some of them you might even have packed right now. So before you travel again, you'll want to see this.